Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to day 63 of me journaling my journey to becoming profitable and the best version of myself. Today, we will be going over the New York session and how I ended up taking a loss. But I really love I don't love the outcome. Of course, we lost, but I love the way I went about today. I feel like I've learned so much in this one training session, and it's going to help me a lot in the future. And also definitely tested my patience and me just following my rules. So I'm actually just really happy with the trade I ended up taking. I saw other people take it as well, and I felt like it was a lot of conviction behind it, and it just didn't end up working out. But that's okay. That's just a part of the strategy, and that's just the way things go. But let's just go over what we ended up doing today. So going into the session, let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see. There wasn't much on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, we had these lows that I like to target, as well as these highs, but this ended up happening later into the session. 9:30. Let's see. I was waiting to see what price would manipulate, and we actually ended up inversing this bearish fair value gap, but that was pre-market. What I was mainly paying attention to was this bearish fair value gap right here on the 5-minute time frame. So going to the session, I was actually open to taking longs, because as we opened up, we ended up coming all the way down here and sweeping out liquidity. And I was open to taking longs after inversing this bearish fair value gap, but the reason I didn't take it was because we had this bearish fair value gap that we did not end up inversing. And if I were to ignore this higher time frame imbalance, this higher time frame, that's why I say always take your inverses on the highest time frame. So if I were to take this inverse on the 1-minute chart, because we inversed this bearish fair value gap, I would have got stopped out. Why? Because we still had this 5-minute bearish fair value gap that we were respecting. So price ended up coming lower and stopping all the people out that ended up taking these longs with this move. And I actually ended up taking shorts because we ended up testing. We ended up coming back up into this fair value gap and then showing really strong displacement lower. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I love to take like continuations after we come up into higher time frame imbalances. So we came up into that 5-minute bearish fair value gap, and then I was looking for inverse, and we inversed one and these two bullish fair value gaps. And as you guys can see, the mistake I made the mistake I made the other day was ignoring or not fully paying attention to an imbalance in the way. But as you guys can see, there was no fair value gaps in the way of us going lower. So I ended up taking my trade here. And guys, originally, I would have put my take profit here. This is where I wanted to put my take profit. But unfortunately, this is not a 1-on-1 risk reward. This risk reward is not good. So, we also had... Come on. Okay. It freeze last time. We had these relative equal lows right here. So this is also a great drawn liquidity, and I was surprised to see that price didn't go all the way down here, but I wanted to put my take profit here because what I was worried about was us sweeping out these lows and then pushing up higher, which is exactly what we did. But where does the lesson learned come from? I realized that in this area right here, I should have went break even. Should have took my stop loss and went break even right there. Because that is dangerous. This is where I wanted to take profit, but unfortunately I didn't, because it's not a 1-on-1 reward. But this would have been a great place to go break even, and I feel like today was not a necessary loss. I should have went break even here, as you guys I pointed it out here. Because this is just a danger zone. Price can just easily sweep it and then push up higher, which is exactly what we did. And then my patience got tested even more because we came up. We almost stopped me out and then we pushed up all the way down, back down to break even. It was giving me hope, but unfortunately, we ended up respecting this bullish fair value gap and stopping me out of my trade. But I'm really happy with the way I traded today. I was very patient. I stuck to my rules. I stuck to my plan. I took my trade setup. And, it is what it is. But the other people that took this trade, they ended up getting hit break even because they did go break even where they should have. But I ended up taking a loss because, I didn't go break even. But this is just a huge market experience. I would not have learned this, and I would have not taken in this lesson if I were not to take this trade and this loss. So, that's how you should be looking at the trades. Every single loss is an opportunity to learn. And when you take profit and you win, you're just doing something. I mean, you're not learning much. You're just gaining confidence in your strategy. But these losses is when you can really learn and improve. So I'm actually I took this loss and I was like, damn, I lost. But I was not too upset. I had no feeling of I was just cool with it, just following my system, even though we are down quite a bit and we lost $600 today. And this is another part of today what I learned. I think I finally figured out my risk. And we only have $302 left to draw now. So we'll see tomorrow if I am correct. But look, I risked one lot today. And I had a 30-point stop loss. So, 30-point stop loss. Oops. 30-point stop loss with one lot equaled $600, right? So, technically what I thought, a 30-point stop loss, I thought with one lot it would be $300. But since it ended up being $600, for me to risk $300 with a 30-point stop loss, I would have to risk 5 micros. 5 micros. And that would equal $300. So I finally figured it out. With one lot, it's double of what my points are. So if my stop loss was 40 points, I would have lost $800. And if I were to risk, my stop loss would have been $800 because it's double. 400, 1 lot, it would be 800. So if I want to risk $400, I'll just risk 5 micros. I'll do half a lot. So that is huge. I've been wanting to learn and figure that out for the longest, and I finally figured out what today. And looking back on the day I lost 1.2K, my stop loss was also about 30 points. And I ended up losing 1.2K. So, 30 points with 2 lots, it would be double of this, which would be 1.2K, which makes sense. I ended up losing 1.2K. Look. Lucid trading 1.2K. So this is huge for me. I'm so glad I finally figured this out because this is going to help me so much in my trading because I'm not actually going to know how much I'm risking, and I have a formula to follow, and I know what I'm risking and how much to put, and I'm not just taking guesses, and it just makes sense to me, which I'm so grateful for. I said I'll figure it out with experience, and that's exactly what's happening. I'm taking trades, I'm losing, and I'm learning, and that's what's most important. That's how you're going to progress fast, guys. Don't take losing days as I'm doing something wrong, because this is a great trade setup. It just didn't end up working out, and that's okay. That your statistic is not, there's no such thing as 100% win rate. And this is moments where you have to have market experience and discretion. This is an area where I should have went break even, but I didn't. And actually, looking back, I didn't go break even because I thought that there was a chance that we could have respected this bearish fair value gap, but that just wasn't right. I should have just went break even here, and I would have limited my losses. And that would be huge. If I started going break even now and knowing when to go break even, I would save myself a lot of money, and I'll limit my losses, and I'll maximize my wins. And this is really unfortunate. If this was just a little bit smaller, if my stop loss was uh like 20 points instead of 30 points, I would have hit TP today. But and I really did want to close here. Like, this is exactly like when I drew this out, I put my take profit here, and I realized that this wasn't a 1-on-1 versus reward. So I was like, damn, I guess I got to go down here. And, exactly what I thought happened to me. But it's a learning experience. Okay, it's a learning experience. And we just have to learn from our mistakes and move on. And, it is what it is. Other people ended up taking the same trade as me because it is a great trade, honestly. Like, I'm happy with this. And, I just should have won break even, but it's just a learning experience, and I figured out the risk today. I figured out when I should go break even. I'm happy with the trade I ended up taking today, and I just feel good about myself. And even if I end up losing this account, let's look. I'm good for the week. Look, for this account, green. We're 3, 4, 5, and this day should have been. Well, technically, it should have been a take profit, but it should have been break even. And this trade like cooked us because we ended up risking too much. But hey, now this won't happen again because we know how much to risk. And we learned from our mistakes, which is huge. Like, that is huge. And with this risk thing, I feel like I'm going to be a lot more better off. And I know what I'll be doing. So that is just a blessing. And I'm truly happy with the way I treated this account. It's the only reason I'm gonna blow it if it does get blown is because of the risk. And tomorrow I'm gonna risk 5 micros, and if I ended up winning or losing, it should be $300. And if it is, if I risk 5 micros tomorrow with 30-point stop loss and I lose 300 or win $300. I will be so happy because that means I'm correct and I actually figured out the risks thing with this whole trading thing. Like, I'll be happy. Even if I lose 300 and I blow this account, I will be happy because I learned risk and how much contracts and lots to lose. But hopefully we don't lose, obviously. But if we do, I won't mind because this was a huge learning experience and I will massively improve. And hopefully this is the same lots and risk and micros and minis is the same on top step. But anyways, that's how trading today went. I'm actually like I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm not upset. Like, I'm actually really happy with the way today ended up going and just the learning experience that I gained from this trading day. And hopefully you guys don't make the same mistakes I do. Like, you don't have to, hopefully you watch this recap and you actually gain something out of it. You know how much to risk. I have data to back it up. But anyways, let's go over chapter 27. It talked about how Jesus was crucified and rose from the dead. It was actually a really interesting chapter, and it just talked about everything leading up to it and how it happened and him just being able to just, he knew that it was going to happen. He called it out, and it was really interesting. So I'm going to read chapter 28 today. I literally made this video as soon as I got home. I literally walked in my room and sat down by my desk to make this video. I really love what I'm doing and how things are going. Even though things might not be going the best, hey, we're still up for the month. We gained such big info and we learned so much throughout this past 2 weeks, psychologically and technically. And we're gaining conviction in my setup. I'm actually so confident in myself when I trade. And if I get stopped out, I don't get upset anymore. And I don't have any reason to tilt, any reason to get upset, any pressure. I'm just cool cruising because I have conviction and I'm confident in my setup. And that's so important, guys. You have to if you guys are scared to trade or place your trades, you need to backtest and you need to gain confidence in your setup because that's what's going to lead you to profitability. And, even if this account goes, I will be cool with it because it was just a learning curve and experience. And I hope you guys treat losses the same way. Treat losses as a learning experience. Look back on what you took. Look back on why it didn't work out and learn from it and don't make that mistake again. I journaled my trade and hopefully we learn from today. But anyways, I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. Hope you guys had an amazing day. I hope you guys had a good trading day. And hope you guys end up the week strong. We are 1 for 2 this week, which isn't too good. and the losses are way like bigger than what they should have been. Not excluding this one. This loss is fine. $600 is cool. But it should have just been a break even day. But hopefully we end up the week strong and we will recover. But anyways, that's how today ended up going. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm yapping.